The gleaming floors of Wellington Aerospace Industries reflected the harsh fluorescent lights as Kate Williams stepped quietly through the main entrance. Her worn sneakers squeaked against polished concrete, a soft, uncertain sound that still managed to draw curious glances. In one hand, she clutched a manila folder. Her resume. Her chance. Kate, 34, had learned the hard way that dressing down was sometimes the best way to be taken seriously, or at least, not taken as a threat. Her gray sweatshirt and jeans were clean but unremarkable. Her auburn hair was pulled into a low ponytail. No frills. No polish. No distractions. The reception buzzed with fast-talking men in expensive suits discussing defense contracts and quarterly projections. Their eyes slid past her, dismissive, indifferent. Another nobody. Ms. Williams. Helen Foster, Wellington's impeccably dressed executive assistant, greeted her with a professional smile. Mr. Wellington is ready to see you. They walked through glass-walled corridors adorned with framed innovations, jet engines, turbine systems, prototypes Kate had admired for years from afar. Now, she was here, in the belly of a billion-dollar beast, and about to be tested in a way she never expected. The industrial workshop was a world of motion and sound. Cranes shifted components, machines hummed, technicians worked with laser focus. And in the center stood Marcus Wellington himself. He didn't look up when Kate approached. "So you're the mystery applicant," he said, still scrolling on his tablet. "Interesting resume. But you're not what we typically expect for a senior engineering position." Kate met his gaze. "I understand this is unconventional, Mr. Wellington." "That's putting it mildly," he said, eyeing her sweatshirt. Then he smirked and gestured to the heart of the room, a gleaming prototype engine surrounded by engineers. "Let's see what you're made of." Beside him, Dr. James Harrison and Kevin Anderson, both top engineers, exchanged skeptical glances. This wasn't going to end well. "This," Marcus said with a theatrical wave, "is our breakthrough hybrid turbine." Or, it was supposed to be. Kate approached, curious. The engine pulsed with complexity, a labyrinth of valves, sensors, and lines. 3 months ago it ran flawlessly. Now, it shuts down exactly 43 minutes into every test. No errors. No warnings. Just stops. Kevin jumped in, clearly defensive. "We've run diagnostics, thermal imaging, vibration analysis. Nothing explains it." Marcus turned to Kate with a smirk. "So here's my challenge, Ms. Williams. Fix what my entire team couldn't. You've got 2 hours. If you solve it, the job, senior engineer, $150,000, full benefits, is yours." "And if I don't?" Kate asked. "Then I know my hiring instincts are still sharp." Kate took the wrench he offered and turned to the engine. 2 hours should be plenty." The room buzzed with disbelief. Snickers echoed behind her. Kevin muttered, "She thinks she's gonna solve this? My little sister could do better." Dr. Harrison crossed his arms. "We're wasting time." Kate ignored them. She knelt beside the engine, studying cooling lines and temperature sensors with quiet, methodical precision. "Has anyone checked thermal expansion rates?" she asked, half to herself. "Of course we have," Dr. Harrison scoffed. "That was step 1. What about sensor calibration sequences?" "All normal," Kevin replied, exasperated. "Everything checks out. Then it just fails." "No. It protects itself," Kate whispered. They laughed louder. But she wasn't guessing. She was seeing. She traced the sensor mounts, small metal brackets, slightly different from the housing alloy. A different expansion rate. A different stress threshold. "The shutdown is triggered by false readings," she said. "Not from the engine, from the sensors misreading heat after 43 minutes of metal expansion." Silence. "Move the sensors," Kate continued. "Mount them on brackets made of the same alloy as the housing. Eliminate the differential stress. The readings will normalize." Dr. Harrison bristled. "You want to change the spec alignment?" "Just slightly. 2 millimeters. Close enough to maintain accuracy, far enough to prevent false shutdown." Marcus paused. His skepticism cracked. "How long?" 15 minutes. "Do it." Kate's hands flew with precision. The same hands that had once rebuilt turbines in combat zones. She made the changes, recalibrated the sensors, secured new mounts, checked every connection. Then she stepped back. Started. The engine came to life. 10 minutes. 20. 30. 42. 43, and it kept running. Kevin's jaw dropped. Dr. Harrison stared in disbelief. 50 minutes, Helen whispered. Still running. Still flawless. Marcus turned slowly toward Kate, his voice quieter now. Where exactly did you learn to do this? Kate stood tall. Masters in Aerospace Engineering. Same institute as Dr. Harrison. 8 years in propulsion systems. 4 years as a Navy aviation mechanic. Combat zone diagnostics. Kevin looked stunned. Why didn't you say any of this? Because when you look like me, Kate replied, people don't listen to your resume. They see a sweatshirt, not credentials. That's why I let my work speak. A long silence passed. Then Dr. Harrison stepped forward. Ms. Williams, I owe you an apology. You were brilliant. And we were wrong. Marcus nodded. The offer stands. In fact, we'll need to revisit that salary figure. Kate just smiled faintly, finally setting the wrench down. She hadn't come to prove herself. She came to remind them what real engineering looked like.